Hey guys, so today I'm actually working on some stuff on Ancestry. Um, when I first started going to therapy, they had my therapist told me that I was basically just existing and that I needed to find something to look forward to and something to give me hope for the future. And so, one of the things that I decided I was going to do, besides going back to school, was try to trace my ancestry so that I can, follow up on my tribal enrollment process. For those of you who don't know, I am Native American, and like I started doing the process to enroll as a tribal member, but I had 30 seconds of blood quantum and I need 30 seconds or 1/4. So I'm almost there, but the problem is I have ancestors that immigrated to the US from Canada, and I can't find information about this person's parents. So I have all the way back to the mid to early 1800s. And let me just flip this around so you guys can see. I don't know how well you can see that, but I do have some progress going. It's just kind of like a long process to get everything together. And then a lot of people back then didn't want to admit that they were Native or Indigenous because they didn't want to be separated from their families. They didn't want to be treated differently. And, so it's kind of difficult to trace some of those people and, kind of go back. Like I said, I have someone right now that I'm looking for information on who died in 1913, but I can't locate information about his father or his mother, and he came from Toronto. So, it's keeping me busy, it's keeping my mind occupied, and I just kind of needed something to keep me busy and occupied until school starts because my therapist thought that it was important for me to have something to look forward to, like I said, because with all the stress that I've been going through in regards to my mother, and I haven't told you guys about that, and I don't know that I really want to, it's a lot. And, other big changes in my life that I'm not ready to talk about either. So, having this kind of information is kind of cool. I'm enjoying looking back into the past and kind of seeing where I come from, where my ancestors came from, and kind of learning more about their life. There's some where people have shared stories about these people, and I found it really interesting to read stories about them, read about their marriages, and some people include pictures of their burial plots or their headstones, and I think that's kind of interesting to look at too. I think it would be cool to be able to go and find them in the cemetery one day. I don't know how possible that would be this year, only because it's already October, and up here in Michigan, it's starting to get colder, and snow is not that far away realistically. So I don't know how possible it would be for me to go, searching these cemeteries. And obviously I can't go to Canada because the Canadian border is still closed, even though I live maybe an hour and 15 minutes away from the Canadian border. The border is closed. So you can't go into Canada because of COVID. But I just wanted to, let you guys know what I was up to. If you have used Ancestry before, did you find it interesting? I don't know if I'm just being super nerdy, but I think it's kind of cool to know where you come from and where, your family kind of started. And, I recently found out that I'm actually a descendant of someone who was a tribal chief. And there's actually a whole museum about this person in the area where my mom lives at. And I really think that one of these days it would be cool to go there and check it out and kind of see like what kind of things they have in there. Because I didn't even know any of this until, you know, recently talking to my mom about genealogy and lineage and stuff like that. And she mentioned it. And I'm thinking, why didn't you tell me this before? Because it would have been super cool to go to this museum and learn more about my history. You know, so anyways, I'm doing it now. And, you know, I'm at least getting the process started. And hopefully I'm able to, you know, make it happen to where I can become an enrolled tribal citizen. But as of right now, I'm just a tribal descendant because I have to find that last 32nd. And I also find it really weird that I'm more Native than my mother is because of my father. My biological father was also Native. And so, you know, I'm technically more Native than my mother is. Because my maternal grandmother is Polish. And so also on Ancestry, I've been tracing her side of things too. And I was able to trace her family like all the way back into the 1800s when they were in Poland and then eventually immigrated to Buffalo, New York, lived there for a while, and then somehow ended up in Michigan. But anyways, that's enough. I'm sure this probably isn't that interesting to you guys. But I just wanted to share kind of what I've been up to in the last week or so, trying to get some information about where I come from. So anyways, I hope you guys are having a great weekend, and I will talk to you in my next video.